something else, too. It was about identity. For every sign that was about Trump, there was another referencing thought leaders and pioneers of social justice. Audre Lorde, Martin Luther King Jr., Gloria Steinem. When it was all over, no one wanted to leave. Everyone was unified in their anger, and that made them feel less alone. That day, many of the attendees wore shirts that the March organization had created and sold in advance online. In a bold font, it featured a quote from Dinos Christianopoulos, a Greek poet who was ostracized from the literary community because he was gay. "They tried to bury us," the shirts read, "but they didn't know we were seeds." The day after the march, journalists tried to make sense of what happened, while President Trump tried to belittle it. Headlines ranged from "What Democracy Looks Like, Women's March on Washington" to "The Somehow Controversial Women's March on Washington," highlighting the problematic divisions between factions of the women's movement writ large. Scholars would go on to question the value of this demonstration, which has since been called the largest in history, whether it was simply a moment of catharsis or the spark point for a growing movement. I had a sense that what I saw that day was not just a passing moment of sadness and solidarity. 3 months later, I received a call from an acquaintance, and then I knew it was not. As it turns out, there were many more buried seeds who had yet to find the surface. The buried seeds. I grew up in Texas and lived across several different areas, which meant I had accumulated a number of connections across the state. Shortly after the Women's March, I got a call from a friend who told me she thought I would like to know she had joined a group of progressive women in her part of rural Texas. The group had formed after the 2016 election, starting out as a therapy session for affected Clinton voters in their small county, but over the past several months, it had become an actual political organization. The catch was that it is a secret organization. A secret organization of more than 130 women. Its members, a mixture of real estate agents, school teachers, business owners, and retired grandmothers, all meet in secret to protect themselves from social, economic, and even physical retaliation issued by their conservative neighbors, friends, and family. With some help and convincing on the part of my confidant, I started interviewing members. Within 4 months of those interviews, I started attending the group's meetings. My first group meeting was in August at one of the group's rotating locations, an effort to draw little attention to their gatherings. It was an unbearably hot day, as it always is in August in Texas, and when I came into the room, I was met by the draft of heavy air conditioning and the strong scent of Chardonnay. Scattered across the room for their pre-meeting social hour were a group of 25 or so women who all fired skeptical stares in my direction until my confidant quickly introduced me. After I had been vetted, their glances softened, and I shook the hands of people I had previously spoken with over the phone and was meeting for the first time in person. Every woman in the room was white. It took very little time for me to blend in. After the introduction and a few plates of cheese and crackers, the women gathered in a semicircle and started their meeting. The blinds were closed on the windows surrounding them, and the women looked uneasy when the door opened and a few latecomers grabbed seats in the back. After all, everyone in the room had voted for Hillary Clinton, and nearly everyone outside had voted for Donald Trump. The women started with the Pledge of Allegiance, directing their gaze to a small American flag poking out of an easel with a tattered piece of poster paper. The paper displayed the group's confidentiality agreement. No publishing anything referring to this group without explicit permission from members. No speaking explicitly about any member in reference to this group. Identity should be protected outside of this group, and recruit women individually that you know well. The meeting continued with updates on old business. At some point during these announcements, the easel at the front began to buckle, sending the poster paper and the American flag flying. A number of audible gasps echoed through the room while several women ran from the back to ensure the flag did not touch the ground. After their efforts, the facilitator repositioned the flag back into the